Cheat the system, not people. Here's the thing about rules. Half of them weren't written for human happiness. They were written for control, paperwork, and the convenience of some office clerk you'll never meet. So yeah, sometimes the smartest move is to cheat. Not by screwing over people, but by bypassing the nonsense that wastes your life. Bureaucracy will always tell you to wait, to get stamped, to stand in line until you forget why you showed up in the first place. But freedom doesn't come from permission slips. It comes from bold moves. That's why one of the most useful principles you can live by is ask for forgiveness, not permission. It keeps you moving. It keeps you human. Because obeying every man-made hoop isn't morality. It's obedience training. And if you think the system's more sacred than your time, congratulations. You've already lost the game. Rule number 10. The government will never be your friend. Governments are like referees who secretly bet against the team they're officiating. Sure, they wave the flag of public service, but the scoreboard is always tilted toward power, profit, and keeping the system running. No. Politicians love pretending they're one of us. But notice how their kids never end up in the same underfunded schools as yours? That's not friendship, that's branding. And friends don't tax you for breathing, spy on your texts, or make rules they don't follow themselves. Government doesn't love you, it manages you. It's less your buddy and more like that parent who says, "This hurts me more than it hurts you," right before it hurts you. Rule of the game? Stop waiting for a hug from the tax collector. Rule number 9. The media will always deceive you. The media doesn't exist to inform you. It exists to shape you. They're not neutral librarians. They're propaganda machines with studio lighting. Fear sells, outrage trends, and nothing keeps viewers hooked like thinking the world's on fire 24/7. Ever wonder why you never see a headline like, "Millions of people had a pretty good day"? Because calm people don't buy more stuff. News outlets program you into fear because scared people stay tuned. And the real kicker? Most of the breaking news you panic over will be irrelevant to your life in 48 hours. Meanwhile, the good news, like disease cures, peace deals, breakthroughs, gets buried under a Kardashian's tweet. Rule of the game? Don't confuse information with manipulation, or as Carlin would say, they call it programming for a reason. Rule number 8. You can win arguments and still lose years. You ever notice how some people treat every disagreement like it's the Super Bowl? Congratulations, you destroyed your cousin in that family debate. Guess what? You also just lost 3 Thanksgivings of peace and 1 cousin who now thinks you're unbearable. Winning an argument is easy. Keeping a relationship intact is harder. That's the trap. We confuse being right with being smart. Real wisdom knows when to shut up and walk away. Because here's the math. You can get in a screaming match, torch a bridge, and prove your point. And in return, you get a hollow victory and wasted time. Rule of the game? Winning is overrated if it costs you years of goodwill. You don't have to die on every hill, especially if the view from the top is just you, alone, yelling at the wind. Rule number 7. What you refuse to learn, life teaches louder. Life has this nasty little trick. If you ignore the lesson, it repeats itself, but louder. Skip learning financial discipline. Hello, debt collectors. Ignore red flags in relationships. Don't worry, life will mail you the same person in a new body until you finally get it. People love to call this bad luck, but really, it's unpaid tuition. Life doesn't hand you a diploma until you've sat through the course. And if you're stubborn, the course keeps looping until you're too tired to argue. Rule of the game? Learn it the first time. Because life is a teacher that doesn't mind raising its voice. And unlike school, there are no half days, no snow days, and no substitute teacher. You'll either pay attention now, or you'll pay in installments later, with interest. Rule number 6. Most problems aren't solved, they're outgrown. We think every problem needs a solution, a fix, a hack, a miracle answer. But the truth, most problems aren't solved. They just shrink when you grow bigger than them. Remember what felt like the end of the world in high school? The text that didn't come, the zit before prom, the friend group drama. None of it was solved. You just outgrew caring. Adulthood is no different. Some things aren't fixable. They're survivable until you shift. That doesn't mean problems aren't real. It means your perspective is stronger medicine than any quick fix. Rule of the game? Stop thinking you need to untie every knot. Sometimes you just need to drop the rope and walk far enough away that the knot looks like lint. Growth doesn't erase problems, it makes them irrelevant. Rule number 5. People are mirrors you didn't ask for. The universe has a twisted sense of humor. It gives you people who reflect back everything you'd rather not see about yourself. That coworker who annoys you because they're arrogant. Check your own ego. That relative who drives you insane because they never listen. Look closer. Maybe you interrupt too. People are walking, talking mirrors, and most of us would prefer curtains. But here's the rule. If you don't like what someone shows you, it's often because they're holding up a piece of you. Avoiding the mirror doesn't make the reflection disappear. It just means you miss the chance to fix your own mess. Life doesn't send enemies, it sends feedback. And if you keep smashing the mirror instead of looking into it, congratulations. You'll just keep meeting shinier, louder versions until you finally get the point. Rule number 4. The small things reveal the big truths. People obsess over the grand gestures, the speeches, the big promises, the "I'd do anything for you" declarations. But the real story is written in the details. Watch how someone treats a waiter. Watch whether they remember the small things you said in passing. Watch what they do when they think no one's looking. Tiny details are often louder than life's big moments. Why? Because the big things are staged. They're performances. The small things slip out unedited. If you pay attention, you'll realize most of reality is hidden in throwaway moments. Tone of voice, hesitation, eye contact. Rule of the game: stop waiting for the movie scene. The truth about people is written in the margins, not the script, and the margins never lie. Rule number 3. The map isn't the territory. What you believe about reality isn't reality. Maps are useful. They tell you where the highways are, where the cities connect. But no one confuses the paper map for the actual ground under their feet. Except we do it with life all the time. Beliefs, ideologies, even self-identities. They're just maps. Handy, but limited. Mistake them for the territory and you're guaranteed to suffer. Why? Because life will always throw you terrain that isn't on your map. Detours, dead ends, entire continents you never imagined. The problem isn't that maps are wrong, it's that they're incomplete. Rule of the game: hold your maps lightly, update them often, and when the terrain disagrees, trust your eyes, not the drawing, or you'll end up wandering in circles, proudly declaring you're on the right path while lost in someone else's cartography. Rule number 2. Time is the most precious asset. People love to argue over what matters most: money, relationships, health, and sure, all of those are big, but none of them beat time. You can lose money and make more. You can ruin a relationship and find another. You can even wreck your health and to some degree claw it back. But time, once it's gone, that's it. There's no refund desk, no undo button, no clever hack to stretch it out. That's why the biggest scam is how we trade it away so cheaply. For jobs we hate. For arguments that don't matter. For scrolling on a glowing rectangle. Rule of the game: guard your hours like they're gold bricks, because they are. Money is just a tool. Health is just maintenance. Time is the whole game board. Spend it carelessly, and the game ends before you even realize you were playing. Rule number 1. The game only ends when you stop playing. Here's the real cheat code. Life isn't about winning, it's about staying in the game. Every setback, every betrayal, every moment you thought, "That's it, I'm done," wasn't the end. It was just a plot twist. The people who make it through aren't necessarily the strongest or the smartest. They're the ones stubborn enough to keep showing up. That's the secret nobody teaches. You don't need perfect strategy, just persistence. Every day you keep playing, the rules change a little. Doors open you didn't know were there, and the board resets in your favor. The real loss isn't failure, it's folding too soon. So yeah, the game is rigged, the rules are weird, and sometimes the dice are loaded against you. But you're still here, which means you're already ahead. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos, so subscribe to see them.